Jordan, your thoughts on that performance? Bradford now have made it 6 wins on the bounce and a successful homecoming on the return to Odsal.
Yeah, it was great. It was good to just get the win with a packed stadium with fans finally back and finally back at this great stadium, and what a team effort it was. It wasn't an individual performance. It wasn't one person that won us it. It were 17, 18 blokes on that field that went out there, give it their all and worked for each other.
Just on the point of the fans returning, you got a little taste last week in London. What was it like when you're running out to do your pre-match preparations and you see 4,000 people in the stadium on top of you?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's something we've missed. Obviously, I've paid my respects to Dewsbury and for them letting us go there and use their facility while we were away from Odsal. But this is where we want to be, and it's some spectacle when you've got all the fans in the stadium and all chanting, cheering. It's it is that 18th man on the field, and it gets you through a few tough periods in the game like the what today, and some of the lads were out on the feet in parts of that game, and just having the crowd there to get us through it were great. So it's good enough where they can keep following us and cheer us on.
Your thoughts on that performance? A real strong first half.
Yeah, I think we're proving a lot of people wrong at the minute. I don't think people expected much from us, and at the minute we're knocking off some of the top teams now. Last week London, this week York, and we're just building very nicely and building some strong foundations, which is something that we pride ourselves on and pride ourselves on them 1%ers. Kieran Dixon goes a breakthrough today and he's a very quick kid, and you got Joe Brown going and saving that try that in probably 4 or 5 weeks ago would have been a try. So it's just them extra efforts, and we're priding ourselves and working for each other, and I think you can see that on the field that the boys want to work for each other, want to play for each other, and we've got a really strong team now. So the performance was great, and I can't fault any part of it. There's stuff to fix up, and there's a couple of tries they scored that are fixable, but for a 37-18 performance, you can't go wrong against a tough York side.
What was it like when Ashton had come on towards the end of that first half, back playing with your best friend effectively, someone who's grown up in and around Stanley and at Leeds together?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's when I got a call from Duncan and John to say that if we're going to come over, I made up. He's obviously my best friend, and he's someone that you want to be on the field with. He's a real tough character, and he's naturally a fullback, but he puts his hand up and wants to play anywhere, and he's just a tough player and a tough athlete that will go out there and give 110%. You put him at hooker, and he does what he did today. Comes, gives Doyle a bit of a rest, and goes over the line. So yeah, it was fantastic. I'm obviously made up that he's here with me, and I'm hoping that John and Donny can keep him here a bit longer, and Huddersfield don't take him back. So made up that he's here, and hopefully he can stay for a long time.
His try just before half-time was really crucial because it extended a 2-score lead at the break, but it also sucked out that enthusiasm and effort from which York had got themselves back in the game with the try from Ryan Atkins.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing well at the minute, is we're sticking in arm wrestles with teams, and before we go toe to toe and we'd be the first one to crack, and then we concede, and then we go back to back, and then the game would run away from us. Where I think now we're in that arm wrestle, we're completing very high, which is something I think when you spoke to John that he's a complete. He loves a completion. He loves us to complete high, and in that first half we completed very high and we drained York, and if you'd have played an extra 10 minutes, I think we'd have ended up running away with it because they were out on the feet at one point, and we just kept draining all that energy, kicking long. Bruffy is brilliant to play with because it takes a lot off me, and it means that I can do the running side of things that I've wanted to do for a long time, and luckily I managed to do that today, and he managed to just guide us around the field, which he does brilliantly, and he's an experienced player, and Ashton just does what Ashton does best. He's strong, he's fast, and he's a big athlete. When he spots something, he goes for it, and he wants to be the one that comes over the line, which he did.
A lot's been made in certain aspects of the media, rugby league media, about the pitch and the special dispensation that the RFL have had to give. As a player, Jordan, who's done the full 80 minutes out there on the field, how does it differ from what you'd normally expect here at Odsal?
Oddsal's a massive field, so when you're playing in Odsal, it's obviously different today. But I think there were a lot of moaning, there were a lot of groaning and stuff, and especially from the York side of things, and watching quite embarrassing really, watching than measure it out before the games if there was something that they could do about it. You know, it's both teams at the end of the day that have got to play on that field. You know, it's no advantage to us to play in the small field like that, because our game plan and how we play, we like to be expansive, we like to throw the ball around. So on a field like that, it doesn't benefit us either. You know, you saw it at London last week, we managed to run away with it with the expansive rugby we played. So, you know, it didn't benefit us, it didn't benefit York, but at the end of the day, it's a rugby game, there's two teams out there and we're fighting it out to try and win, and you know, the team that do it consistently will come away, and I thought today that, you know, we did that and we were consistent, and you know, we come away with a win.
There was a number of players, Jordan, represented the community clubs. Stanley, for instance, there's 6 Stanley lads in that Bradford team today. Just talk us, does that help the cohesion that you've all grown up playing with each other at Stanley and then at Leeds and now here at Bradford?
Yeah, I think it does. You know, obviously there's a big combination between me, Ashton and Pickers. You know, we were at Stanley for a very long time together and had a real good team there. Obviously when Sam comes back, you know, we've all played together. So yeah, that's certainly the cohesion there. But I think, you know, even the players that I'm playing for Stanley and the players that we brought in, Aaron Murphy, Danny Brough and stuff like that, the cohesion of the team didn't click at the start, but it takes time. It's a new team, it's, you know, we're playing in new philosophies and new structures. So, you know, for us, it took time, but I think you see now after, 5 games now on the bounce with wins, and you know, the cohesion starting to come. And I think even on a tight field like this, which were 50.8 metres long or whatever it was that they measured it out, we still threw the ball around and we still scored some, you know, real tries. We scored some, well, the first one we were out wide from a shape, so you know, it just shows the kind of shapes we're throwing at the minute, even on a tight field. So yeah, I'm buzzing, and I'm real pleased with how the team's playing, and you know, I'm real happy where I am and where the club's going, and I'm excited to, you know, over these next few weeks we've got a real tough run. You know, we've obviously had London, York, we've got Newcastle next week, then we've got Featherstone, and you know, for us, I think we want to take on all these top teams. I want to battle with the top teams, and we want to, you know, see where we're at, because you know, we're slowly knocking them off, and you know, I want to see where we're at the end of the year.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you obviously got your own try yourself. I mean, you must be pleased with that. With some really neat feet just to get away. It must be lovely seeing a couple of defenders on the bum behind you. Like,
definitely. Like I said, it's all down to Bruffy taking that off my side of things. I can focus on a bit of running, and I don't have to control as much, which I think last year I was trying to do too much, and I was missing jumps and I was missing time to run. And I said at the start of the year that you'd see more of a running side from me, and I think you're sort of seeing that now. You know, it's not perfect yet, but you know, it's coming. And you know, yeah, we just saw James Green as a wide A defender and took it on. You know, you get excited when you see big prop forwards, really wide at A as a little bloke like me said, and you know, it's good that I can run at defenders and take defenders on. So yeah, I'll continue to do that for as long as I can, and you know, as long as Bruffy's playing alongside me, he can control and kick as well as he does, and I can just focus on that part.
There was a lot of feeling in your celebration as well. You punched the ball straight in the stand. I mean, that must have been everything. Almost all the fans back at home, the atmosphere must have been everything coming out in that try there, because you were quite excited when you went over.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's just down to, you know, knowing that I can do it, and knowing that, you know, I think across my career from the start I haven't really been able to show the running side of my game. I've just more been an organiser, but you know, coming from Stanley and where I played at Stanley, I was always a runner. I was always, you know, get the ball, take the line on, and stuff like that. And you know, my dad gets on at me all the time saying, "John, you don't take the line on anymore. You're just a catch pass." And I don't want to be that player. I want to be that player that, you know, when teams are previewing me or previewing our team, they say, "John Lilley's a runner. He runs the ball." And you know, for me to go over like that, it's kind of a relief, saying, you know, I can do this. I can take the line on, and you know, I can finish tries off like that. So yeah, it's a lot of emotion, and the crowd, it were electric today and stuff like that. So yeah.
You've come a long way since that obviously opening day defeat. You've been playing against Sheffield. How far do you feel like Bulls can go this season?
I think as far as possible. You know, I think we can challenge the Featherstones and Toulouse, and you know, people might say, "I'll give over" and stuff like that. But if you're going to go into a game against Toulouse and Featherstone and think you can't win, what is the point in playing? You know, what is the point even going into the game and even competing? You might as well give them a 24-0 win. So for me, I sit there confident, and I sit there going, you know what, bring on Toulouse, bring on Featherstone, bring on the top teams, and let's go toe to toe on the field, and let's see where we're at. And if we fall short, but at least we know where we're at. But you know, I think this team could go far. We'll keep the players fit. We can keep recruiting the players. You know, bringing a couple of players in here and there to strengthen us. You know, I think we can challenge Toulouse. I think we can challenge Featherstone, and You know, we can go on a pretty good run. So I'm excited to see where it can go, and the aim is the playoffs, and then anything can happen there. It's a knockout football, isn't it? Then from there.